Hello, this is my capstone project. I'm only going to be focusing on the website today because um, it essentially goes through the same information as the essay. So this is the website. Oh, and my name's Amal Kalyanam. So my guiding question is, do religions have fundamental flaws that contradict themselves and human nature? So starting off with the background, first it opens up with this picture which kind of depicts the different breakdown of religions in the world, and then it goes down later on the page to kind of give a brief overlay. It starts about talking about how religions are instrumental in society, and they instill core beliefs and principles through the social and political institutions, and this can also go on to influence culture, activities, and even the social hierarchy of a civilization in an era. And when looking at today and in the past, the one thing that stays consistent is while they are prominent, many religions that have came and have left have all had potential shortcomings in their teachings, and these shortcomings can create contradictions to their very purpose. Or they can also contradict themselves in essence of in the realm of humans, as in it goes against human nature and will thereby be impossible to actually impossible to actually carry out to perfection. And so today we're going to be looking at Christianity, which takes about 31.2% of the world's population, Hinduism, which comes in at 15.1, and Buddhism, which is 6.9% of the population. So starting off with Christianity, the basis of Christianity is avoiding sin through guidelines with which God established, and these sins can be shown to be sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, jealousy, discord, fits of rage, selfish ambitions, dissensions, faction, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. The first main contradiction with this is, according to Dr. Need Burton, who's a professor at Oxford and has conducted extensive research with human nature, is that part of these sins is a part of human nature, and it's impossible for humans to avoid them. So it's a contradiction for God saying humans should act this way to avoid sinning. And in addition to this, another way in which this is contradictory is the presence of death, heaven, and hell in Christianity. By having knowledge having knowledge that heaven and hell exist, essentially your subconsciousness would want to go to one of these two places, or you would want to go to these places consciously, and therefore you would taint every action you take, as in it would be in a selfish manner to try to get into heaven or hell, and therefore it's impossible to avoid the aspect of sinning in Christianity. So now moving on to Hinduism, a large part of Hinduism is dealing with the aspect of karma, which is one of the four core values in the religion, and essentially it's based off their conscious actions, and it's basically saying good actions give you good karma, bad actions give you bad karma, and it essentially determines where you go in the afterlife, equivalent to like sanctuary, or equivalent to like torture or damnation, and it also is the basis of how you get reincarnated in future lives to come. Good karma, you're reborn as something good. Bad karma, you could be reborn as something less than human. And its four main faults is that it's supposed to be everlasting and consistent throughout one's lifetime, throughout multiple lifetimes of one singular person, and it's based off one person's actions. But the first problem is that when a reincarnation comes, they have no conscious knowledge of past actions, but yet they're judged based on this karma. The second contradiction is that karma can get erased, which kind of goes against the whole aspect of being like an eternal ranking system. And then the third is that karma can get transferred from one person to another, which kind of really contradicts the aspect of of being this accumulation of one's actions. And then the fourth is that karma can you can improve the karma of an ancestor by going through a holy ritual, so the karma of one can get altered by a person who had no relation to those actions. So now focusing on Buddhism, it looks at the Four Noble Truths, which are kind of outlined here. But the problem, and it's kind of all focused on suffering and the alleviation of suffering. But the problem is that they're focused on the present, These teachings are focused on teaching someone in the present and how they should live in the present, follow their own way. But the teaching themselves are hundreds of years old and taught by a specific person, and as a result, there's an inherent flaw with discrepancy with how it's taught. The second is that the first contradicts the third. With truth, and since it's actually a part of a lot. Since suffering is a part of life, it's almost impossible. It is impossible to escape the aspect of suffering. And then the third contradiction is that, as being proven, suffering can actually give a person a better knowledge of the world, and as thus they can have a greater knowledge of themselves and the world around them. So suffering is actually a more attainable way of reaching the end goal of Buddhism. And then these are my citations right here. Thank you.